I guess we'll see. Now, Sherry from the get-go is the only adult, barely adult, in this situation that's alarmed by Jody and what Ruby is doing with her. She's in college now. Like I said, she's no longer living at home, and her dad is telling her that not only is he moving out of the family home, he's got to go work on himself, and he's not going to talk to any of the kids for like the next year. Sherry says, I got a call from Kevin. He says, your mother has invited me to leave the house, and I'm going to ask that you don't talk to me or Chad. At this point, I was like, this is absolutely crazy. And I think I responded and said, you know, I'm confused and like, I wish you the best, but like I was worried about the kids now that are at home. Kevin says he can't risk it. He can't risk even talking to his kids. He says, quote, going into the no contact separation, I was terrified that I was going to lose my marriage, that Ruby was going to ask for a divorce. I was 100% compliant by that point. I was going to support her over all my children, period. And somehow I had to convince Jody that I was ready to go back to Ruby. Kevin's just out here waiting for Ruby to call him, take him back. Meanwhile, he's still doing group therapy with Jody. Side note, Chad is also out living alone at 17 years old, but still paying $900 from his own funds to get therapy from Jody. Kevin would later say he was paying her more than he was paying in rent, like 3 times as much, working as a lifeguard.
I had a phone call yesterday with my therapist, and she taught me about truth and distortion. Mom probably talks about Jody all the time. But
I've mentioned Jody a few times. She has a podcast called Connections with an X.
anyway,
What did you learn?
well, I learned about the 3 different types of pain.
So me deciding that my stomach ache was Chad's fault was not seeing things in truth.
Right.
But I really, really want to blame him. Because I just want to be able to eat my desserts again and Oreo cookies without stomach aches. And so
Then send me off to another wilderness camp again.
Kevin would later say that Chad probably felt the same way he felt, which is he wants to do the best that he can to make Ruby and Jody proud. That's all he cares about. Which Chad is so understandable. He's a victim in this. But Kevin, does he really need to cut off his entire family? Sherry remembers feeling hurt that each time she tried to reach out to him, he just ignored her. She remembers after a month, I texted Kevin from college just saying, I love you, I miss you. I saw that he hearted the message, and then a minute later, he unhearted it. I was just like, what are you doing? Like, pull your head out of your ass and like, come back. And I think I got blocked after that, so I stopped sending text messages.